India's National Security Board is conducting cyber defense exercises in the wake of threats from China and other adversaries, mounting by the day. The agencies, including India's TRAI services, are participating in the week-long exercise to test the resilience of India's civilian and military infrastructure. The cybersecurity exercises are being held under the aegis of India's Defence Cyber Agency, with participants aiming to test the firewalls guarding India's critical infrastructure. Now, these exercises come after US cyber experts found a Chinese sleeper malware in Australia and Japanese networks of part of Quad cybersecurity cooperation. Now, this malware is injected into the critical network and it's made to lie dormant for years. The bug is then activated by China anytime it chooses to cripple the critical infrastructure or extract information. While the Indian National Security Agencies and TRAI services of India are protected by air-gap and standalone servers, the Union government servers under the National Informatics Center are often cyber-attacked. Now, they are compromised by India's enemies to steal confidential information through planted malware. Now, this happened in India in November last year. A cyber-attack on 5 servers of AIMS in Delhi was engineered by China-based hackers. The post-mortem of the attack showed that the malware or the bug to steal medical records was planted in the servers way back in 2014. In 2019, on the military front, a cyber attack on the Indian forces in Poonch took place when Pakistani forces retaliated to the 2019 operation launched by the Indian Air Force to destroy a Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist training camp in Balakot on the 26th of February. The operation was conducted to avenge the killings of 40 CRPF troopers at the hands of a Jaish suicide bomber in Pulwama on the 14th of Feb 2019. Quad countries Australia, India, Japan and the United States are also realizing the threat of cyber attacks amid an emerging security situation. In Hiroshima this month, the 4 Quad leaders decided to collaborate to enhance regional capacities to counter cyber incidents and threats. Now, work is on to develop a framework for ensuring cybersecurity of supply chains and resilience. Now, this will strengthen regional defenses against cyber threats to software supply chains, the digital economy, critical infrastructure and services. As the Indian economy expands in the digital dimension, we all know of how widespread the UPI is in India. Security planners are reviewing the national networks to make them more resilient with stronger firewall architecture. All right, for more on this, we are being joined by Michael Obens, who is the president of US Global Center for Cyber Policy. Welcome to the broadcast, Michael.
Thank you. Happy to be here today.
Michael, Chinese sleeper malware was found in Australia and Japanese networks, as revealed by US cyber experts. How are these malwares planted, and what's the extent of damage that they can cause?
I mean, there are multiple ways that this malware, which is basically a program or either a subset of code that can be introduced into almost any software and then unknowingly installed by average everyday people, governments, nonprofits. It can really be really pervasive as the way it can get there. You can download a simple application. You can have a service provider that can install it. You know, there's multiple different ways. It come via email. So there are a lot of different ways that this malware can infiltrate a organization. A lot of times it is someone within an organization, like I said, downloading and providing that installs it. And it's done so very quietly. It's done so without the person knowing that it's happened. And as was just mentioned earlier, these programs can lie dormant for years before they're activated to actually wreak havoc.
Michael, like when stalwart Quad nations have been under attack as well, what's the extent of China's cyber threat on the global scale?
You know, the truth of the matter is we're not exactly sure the entire propensity or the capabilities these could have, because as I said, some of these has been, installed a decade or more ago, 2013, 2014. We know there's confirmed instances where some of these malware applications have been installed and are just literally lying dormant. And not only from a decade ago, this goes all the way up to current times. We saw where Australia just called out China for cyber espionage just a couple of days ago. So this has been a persistent effort that the Chinese have been onslaughting the entire world. And it's not just India or America, but anywhere I think that China has perceived there being a challenge could find themselves victim to Chinese espionage and cybersecurity attacks.
Thank you so much for joining in on the broadcast. That was Michael Owens joining us from Georgia.